Hey everyone, welcome to this episode. We're back on the Cortina. This time we're working on the console. Now when I say working on a console, I kind of mean we're building it from scratch, of course. Alright, so I've basically got the sides patterned out, and now I've just got to cut some bits of wood and start pinning it together, basically turning it into a solid thing, because I want to pull it in a bit tighter than it is. It looks a bit wide in some areas. I want to pull it in a bit and make it a bit more slim, a bit more streamlined. So that's the first step, I guess, is to get the shape right. So first I've got to remove those controls there because there's a bracket in the way and it's hanging out. So alright, we'll start with doing that. Running out of light, but I've put some cross braces in there and I'm just about to sturdy it all up with these. These might not stay, but these will hold it all together in a straight line when I remove it. So when I take it to the shed and work on it, it doesn't change shape or do anything weird that I don't want it to do. So that's next, is just to get those pieces screwed into place and see if we can get it out in one piece. That'll be a huge thing if it comes out in one piece. It should, being a four-door car, it should do. Alright. Oh, look at that. It made it. Just, but it made it. Yes! Beautiful. Alright, that came out easy. Really like that. So anyway, I'm going to call it for tonight. I've got to clean this place up enough to be able to get the van back in. So that's it for tonight. But yeah, it's coming along in there. I'm getting more ideas in my head as I go. So yeah. Alright, so I've jumped forwards here quite a bit. I just, sometimes when you get on a roll, you just don't want to be interrupted with setting cameras up and doing all this sort of thing. So I've got the main bones of it all pretty fleshed out now. Had to do a little bit of creative thinking in around the handbrake here so that we can, install it, get it in and out. Otherwise the console wouldn't come in and out. So I've made this piece, of course, one-handed. Pops down into there like that. And once everything's fastened into place, it'll all sit there a lot better, of course. But that just, especially with the handbrake down, she sits there nice and flush. So, I mean, that could be considered a little bit of an issue, is that it wants to move a bit when I pull that up, but once it's screwed into place, it won't. I'm just hoping that there's enough clearance there. There's a good amount there, so I'm just hoping there's enough clearance. I've got to get rid of all this and remake the boot and everything like that. But I've got this thing sitting, that's where it wants to sit, for everything to line up in there. But I think I'm going to try and integrate this and then just make this a bit of a tray here for putting stuff, and then sort of come up to the top here, make that flush with that. So I might even change the sides here a little bit yet. I'm still playing, still working it out, but yeah, so it's coming along pretty nicely now. I should be able to get covering it soon, hopefully. But anyway, that's where we're up to, and yeah, so next thing is to get it out and just finalise a few bits and bobs. Alright, so here we are, back in the shed now. Everything's lining up really nicely. I've made a few changes. I didn't film that bit because I was doing bogging and sanding and stuff, and cameras and bog dust doesn't work. But anyway, I didn't like this. I thought it was up too high and sort of made it feel too sectioned off, so I've made this, and just with a little step down in there, just somewhere to put your phone and that sort of thing, and that's it. Kept it real simple. So I've put a bit of filler in here, like used a bit of auto bog all through there, just to fill any little holes I had up here, just just to get everything the right shape that I wanted and that sort of thing. And I think that yeah, that's looking pretty good now. So what I want to do now, I'm going to cover the carcass and this part, and I want to get all that buttoned up and back in the car, and then I'm going to do this part, and then I've got to start working on the area in here where I'm just going to mount the screen. Yeah, so then I just need to work this panel, which needs to be shaved down a little bit now, but I'm really happy with the way the shape's coming to now. I didn't like it before, but now I'm really liking it. So alright, let's keep moving on. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is make a template, so that I don't waste material when it comes to cutting the real deal. So I've got this stuff here, it's just some cheap fabric, marked out one side already, and I'm going to use that as a template. Alright, so here we've got our pattern on now. So I've just used this cheap black material, as I said before. I've got my lines marked where I want them now, corresponding marks, and now I can go ahead and transfer that onto the fabric and cut and sew the fabric, and hopefully she'll fit all sweet. Alright, so we've got all the fabric cut out now, all the patterns and fabric just leaning over the chair there. Next step is to glue that now to some foam, so that it's got a bit of foam backing on it for sewing, and when we cover that. Next step after that's put this foam on, glue the fabric to the foam, have that as a backing, and then we're ready to stitch it up. Alright, there we go, foam backed. Got that thin layer of foam on the back of them now. Alright, let's get sewing. Got her all stitched up. I've just kind of thrown it over for the minute, but yeah, got her all stitched up, ready to go. Again, I've used, like with the dashboard, I've used the green stitching to go with the green paint on the car. So yeah, now I've just got to glue that on, wrestle with it for a little while, put some staples in it, and hopefully that part is ready to go back in the car and just be good to go. She's on. And that all went fairly smoothly, which is good. Right, so I went ahead and covered this part, so it's ready to go. And now the boot for the handbrake has still got to be made for it. I've got these pieces in there, but they're going to be in the suede. Same with the boot. So that's all I've got left to do now is the suede pieces. I'm going to go and pop this in the car now, just make sure everything fits in there properly, and make sure it all locks into place. And it's yeah, there's no problems there with fit or anything like that. So I mean, I've done that all already up to this point, but yeah, hopefully she'll just lock into place now and we'll be all good. Alright, so I've got him in there. Now I'm really happy with how that's sitting in there and how it all looks and everything. I made the boot for the handbrake, and this will sit down a little bit flatter in there once I put a screw in it. That'll sit down like that nicely. Yeah, so I've got this panel left to do here. Look, I like how this goes right through to the back. Just meets up with the back seat there, which needs, obviously the colour isn't right there, so the back seat's going to be retrimmed as well with the front seats. But yeah, really happy with how this has turned out. So I've got a couple of adjustments to do with where these things are. I've got to change a few bits and bobs there. For example, the gear stick only has to go to there, and it needs to come back here a little bit further. So I've just got that a little bit wrong, but I knew I was going to need to make another one of these anyway because I've just glued these bits on there. But yeah, that's all sitting in there really nice. I'm going to mount, let me just get down there. Okay, so this needs to get mounted onto there like that. But what I'm thinking is I'll recess it into these bits of wood here. So it just sits up as high as it can. I'll get the router out and I'll route a groove in those bits of wood, and that can sit back into there, and then I'll cut a window in that, and then that'll sit over the top of it and you'll just see it through the window. So righto, I think I'm there. Everything's done, tidied up all my gaps and stuff, tried to make it just look as good as possible. These are the pieces I've just done today to finish them off. I'm not sure what last video I took, but anyway, there they are, all in place. I've still got the selector plastic to put in there, but I'm not getting a new one because the numbers are kind of scratched off it and stuff. So here's our Craig Davis water pump, or Davis Craig, whatever it is, water pump controller built into there because I didn't want it on the dash or have room on the dash, and I've just had to leave a little thing in there so I can get to that switch, but everything else is accessible there, so that's cool. But anyway, she is ready to go back in the car, so I'm really happy to have that all finished up and all done. So let's go get it back in the car and see what's next. There we go, in the car. Now there's been a little mathematical mess up there, so I just need to make another one of those panels and make it a little bit longer. But other than that, that's all fit in there really well. I'm really happy with how this is all lined up, and just how the gear sticks in there, and this part. I haven't screwed this into place yet, but it'll just, I'll just put a screw in here somewhere where no one can see it. Just hold that, and I might put another one in under there, maybe. But yeah, she's all in, which is awesome. Alright, so now that begs the question, is what next? Do we get into the seats yet? And the answer is kinda.